My husband and I were living on the east side of Fort Worth when I was pregnant, and our firstborn was Josh, and he was a big baby. He was 10 pounds and 6 ounces. And then his brother was born, Jake, so they were almost 5 years apart. And the boys were best friends. They grew up just playing with each other, and we felt life was going pretty good, especially since Josh had been successful getting in the Navy. It was good for him. He grew in a lot of ways. When Josh was deployed, he re-enlisted. He was assigned base here in Texas, so he was coming home. At the time, he was living in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And he was married and had a little girl, Maddie, and they were moving to Texas. We were to see Josh and his family on Monday morning. He had spent the weekend with Christina's family. I talked to him on the phone as he was putting Maddie in the car. They had driven a long way and been in town for a couple of days. I could hear Maddie crying. I said, she's probably tired of the car seat. He said, well, Mama, I'll have to call you back. And so he hung up, and I was expecting him to call me back. Instead, a couple hours later, I received a phone call that nobody else wants to get. I got to it, and it was Christina's mom on the other line. And she said, Lisa, there's been a wreck. And she said that Josh and Maddie didn't make it. It was a truck driver that had hit them head on. And Josh and Maddie were killed instantly, and the truck driver died as well. There's not anything that you can do to prepare yourself to know how to navigate through that. Well, you just have to rely on the Lord and not really rely on your emotions, which is crazy because you're just full of emotions. I made sure that we went to worship the following Sunday. I knew that if I chose not to worship and not be a part of that I might not ever go back. Worship was very helpful in my healing. It was very difficult, but God provided so much comfort and healing and strength in worship. You just take it one day at a time. Sometimes a half a day at a time. Early on, that's all you could do. God is the air I breathe. He is the Holy Comforter. Well, I decided I didn't want to just hurt. I had to do something with that pain. I had to manage it instead of it manage me. So I chose to be proactive with my grief and share our story with other people. And I do feel like the Lord spoke to me and helped me see that I needed to do something with the pain that would help other people. I wanted to give Josh and Maddie a voice because they didn't really get a voice. They didn't get to be a part of that decision of their life being cut short. I learned a lot in sharing our story. There's healing in that and helping other people. God has provided me the strength to be able to minister those on our campus. Especially during the pandemic, there was a need for helping others with grief. So we were able to start a grief recovery at West Fort Worth, and I feel very blessed that I'm able to serve in that way, and it's only by the grace of God. This isn't my story. Yeah, it's a story about loss and a story about Josh and Maddie, but it's not just their story either. It's actually God's story. What God can do with such pain, He hadn't taken it away completely because the pain's still there, and I think it will be until I get to see Josh and Maddie again. But He can turn something good, that beauty from ashes. You know, what you do matters. What we do does affect other people, and you get to choose to either affect them for the good or for the bad. And God can provide the strength for you to do what you think you need to be doing, what He's put on your heart to do.